Cardi B is a prime example of why you should not marry a man who's got less financial potential in life than you have. I was watching, y'all, get in here. I was reading something the other day, and it was talking about among women, but this was talking about black women specifically, how like more than half of y'all got master's degrees. I'm eating my dinner. So if you don't like the sound of somebody eating on camera, go somewhere else. And I know Cardi, I don't think Cardi has a master's degree, but my point is, regardless of what spaces y'all are in, y'all seem to be killing it financially. Y'all seem to be doing well, right? A lot of y'all are. And, you know, with that man that she married, or got with, yeah, she married him. I mean, I get it. He's a nice looking man. I'm sure the bedroom action was wonderful. Because crazy men always have good bedroom action. Not calling him crazy, but just the way that she's portrayed him. The way that he's portrayed himself, honestly. I don't know. I don't know that man from Champagne. But I do think that, what? No, I don't think she has a master's degree. That's no shade, baby. I don't do that shit. You know me. I say it from my chest how I need to say it. And I love me some Cardi B. I'm just saying I've never heard of her getting a master's degree. Like very literally. I don't think she has a master's degree. I don't have a master's degree. Right? But my point is, I need y'all to stop marrying down. You can lay with whoever you want to lay with. Have a baby with whoever you're going to have a baby with, although I wouldn't recommend that. But I don't understand marrying down. I did wipe my mouth. Let me wipe it again. Y'all know that when somebody writes something, I see y'all write the same fucking thing 3 times in a row. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Y'all like, nigga, wipe your mouth. I'm trying to focus, but I can't focus. But no, for real. I just don't think it's a good idea to marry down. And I'm going to take it a step further. Y'all be so dedicated to marrying black men. And my thing is, would I love for you to marry a black king who got the same kind of money, same kind of education as you do? Absolutely, I want that for you. But baby, if you can't find a black king who operates at your level financially and education-wise, then go to somebody else. Find a white king. Find a Latin American king. Find an Indian king. Find an Asian king. Middle Eastern, baby. Shit, African. You know? I don't have that much loyalty to marry a black man, a black American man that I'm willing to marry down. My loyalty is to me. I'm marrying whoever is going to be able to be at my level financially and mentally. You know what I'm saying? And at your level financially does not necessarily mean that he's going to earn the same amount as you at that moment you get married. But that may mean, but what I think it means that y'all have the same income earning potential. I don't know, maybe you got a head start financially, right? Maybe your career progressed before his did. You know, so whatever. He may not be at the same level as you. But girl, I don't understand how a man who broke, who ain't got that much potential, even can make it to a second date with you. Much less to the bedroom and down an aisle and then to the delivery room. That don't make no sense to me. I don't understand it. Because I hear her crashing out online. And she's not really crashing out. She's just really, let's be real. If you've ever broke up with an ex who's got issues, you've been there before too. I'm not going to judge her because, girl, I done had me some calls like that in my day. Okay? It is what it is, right? It's hard to judge her because if any of us are real, we've probably been in her shoes in some way, shape, or form before. You know what I mean? Literally thinking, dude, I stepped down for you. I literally settled for you? Why am I dealing with this craziness from you after the breakup? You know what I mean? So I get it. I can never judge her for that. You know? But I do feel like her doing this online is a masterclass in why you should not marry a man, have a baby with a man, get intimate with a man, allow yourself to get in a relationship with a man who, now let me finish the sentence, ain't got shit. I was like, oh, he's in that group. He's an entertainer. I can tell you from living in LA all those years, just because you're an entertainer don't mean shit. I know a bunch of broke entertainers. I know people who own daycares who make far more money than some of the most famous people y'all see on TV. Let's be real about it. I know men who own plumbing companies, okay? Who make more money than some of the recording artists you watching. I don't understand that. Honey, fame ain't never made me holler. Ever. But here's what I wish for her. So I think that she doesn't understand that she's giving him exactly what she wants. These crash out moments online. And this is what happens to y'all. When y'all cussing that man out, you're giving the man exactly what he wants. You said you thought he had money. If he had money, why he asking for spousal support? If he had money, why he asking for spousal support? But no, when y'all be going off, answering the phone, cussing these men out, going off at him about what he did, girl, that's what he want. You understand that some of these men ain't never had the love of a mother? Or the love of the mother that they did have? She was unhealthy and toxic. That's where he learned it from. So therefore, the only way he knows how to internalize love with a woman is through that woman yelling, screaming, and going off on him. When you meet a man who like to push your buttons, girl, stop taking his calls. She says she's spending $50,000 a month on expenses for the children. Girl, then you can afford a lawyer to be the intermediary. I wouldn't talk to him. Ain't no way I'd talk to him. He would be talking to me through a lawyer. You want to know why? Because you'll piece your lies on it. You see what I'm saying? Does she have a prenup? I'm reading that in the comments. But back to y'all, because Cardi is her own story, but we talking about y'all now. Stop arguing with these men. This is a good Caesar salad dressing. Stop arguing with these men. Hey, Sammy. Never argue with a man. Especially a man that you done broke up with and you leaving. Huh. He want to argue. Never. The best revenge against a man is the block button. Block him. Ain't nothing to argue about. Ain't nothing to fuss about. Ain't nothing to talk about. He get mad y'all. You want? So you just gonna block me? You ain't gonna talk to me? Girl, crash out on the phone with your best friend. Schedule a coaching session with me. Crash out with me. Talk to me about it. Don't talk to that man about it. Never let a man see. Listen when I tell you this. Never let a man see that he done touched your buttons or touched your traumas. If you're not in a relationship with him no more. Now, if it's your man, your husband, your boo-boo, y'all can be vulnerable. It is what it is, you know? But your ex, the minute X happens, that means you are excommunicated. Huh? And don't show up to my door. Because this girl don't mind putting on pumps and pearls and going down to the courthouse to get a restraining order. I feel threatened. He continues to come to my home. I have tried my best. to ensure that he has no ability to contact me, including letting him know very directly in written communication. I have the text messages right here, Your Honor. I told him do not contact me because I consider this as a form of harassment, and I fear for my life as well as the safety of my children. Yet he continued to contact me and make verbal threats towards me and my loved ones. And then he proceeded to show up to my residence. I feel threatened. Girl, nowadays you ain't got to see a man if you don't want to see him no more. You ain't got to talk to him if you don't want to talk to him no more. And he can talk to Jesus or he can talk to your lawyer. But he ain't talking to me. Your Honor, wiping your one tear. Your Honor, I feel very threatened right now. Hey, y'all. But I'm serious about this. And this goes towards women, too. Because men, y'all need to figure this out, too. And lesbians, y'all need to figure this out, too. If you're done with a woman, and she being dramatic, when you all that fussing, talking, all that mess. Somebody told me the other day. He broke up with someone, said that she keep on calling him, doing all this other stuff. Keep on coming around, being threatening. I said, call the police. He said, what, man? I can't do that. I said, yeah, you can. I guarantee if the tables will turn, she call them on you. Your big black behind showing up to her house, cussing her out. You know what I'm saying? Showing up unannounced, getting physical. I guarantee you that much. She called the police on you. You be in a holding cell right now. Call the cops. You pay your taxes for a reason. Call them. Call them. You hear what I'm saying? Huh. I ain't the one to play with. You see what I'm saying? Stop arguing with these people. And then what I see even worse than that, and what I worry about with Cardi, y'all, I worry about this with her. I'm so serious. I be worried about her. Don't y'all feel like y'all sitting in my living room right now, sitting across the table from me, while auntie fucking this food up, and y'all eating too with your big back self? Don't judge me, because bitches, y'all backs be bigger than mine. I know how we do, honey. We eat good together, don't we? But listen, I ain't even had time to do my hair. That's how you know, honey. You came over to auntie's house, honey. I ain't had time to do my hair. All I had time to do was just to order some food so we can talk. But listen, what I'm worried about with Cardi is this. What if that man is actually dangerous? I'm not saying he is. But she said that he made threats at her. I think she said that. I be worried about that with y'all too. I be worried about that with y'all too. Y'all sit here arguing with that ex. After you break up with somebody, you don't need to see him in person again. I've lived long enough to see some things happen. Some people get real hurt. Not because of the arguments that led to the breakup, but the arguments that happened after the breakup. No, sir. No, sir. You know how with some companies, when you get fired from your job, they shut off the computers, they shut off everything. Like you go into HR, they tell you by the time you leave out of HR, your system access is cut off, everything's cut off. It's a safety precaution. Lots of companies do that. That's how you got you to break up sometimes. After the breakup, all access is cut off, baby. We can't talk. We can't do nothing for a little while. If you don't know, if you think your man is a little crazy. What if they're your child's father? Children aside, are you safe being in contact with him? Is it safe for you? Is it toxic? Is it messed up? Is it physically unsafe? Girl, I don't, pardon my language, but fuck those kids. Okay? You know what your kids need more than access to their father? A mother who's alive. Okay? If that man is putting you in danger, ha! Let the wheels of justice handle it. Let the wheels of justice handle that visitation schedule. Don't they got little services and stuff like that? Mediators who can coordinate shit? Let them do it. Ain't no damn way. That's their father. And so the fuck what? If he valued his role as their father so damn much, he wouldn't be treating their mother like shit. How you gonna expect access to the kids when you making mother feel unsafe? Talking about it's different. That's our relationship. The kids' relationship is separate. Nah, fuck that shit. I'm another parent. These kids don't have agency to make decisions for themselves. They are minors. Therefore, access to them has to go through me. I ain't gotta like you, but one thing I'm not gonna be doing is allow you to make me feel threatened, because if your mindset is one of a man who makes physical threats, abuse, whatever it may be, then how can I be sure as a parent whose job it is to protect my children what you doing to them? Because I'm a grown adult with agency. You're a grown adult with agency. So what are you doing with the kids who don't have agency? What you think that he compartmentalizes his behavior and how he treats you is different than how he treats everybody else? And you know what? You're negligent as hell. You're negligent as hell if you letting your child be around a man who's proven to be abusive. Well, I never saw him hit the kids. You never saw it. Ain't no way. You're not being around my kids. Oh, you don't like it? Take it to court. Take it to court. Take it to court. We'll have Judge Judy deal with it. Or whoever the court is. Ain't no way. I saw this thing the other day. What was happening? Oh, the woman was talking about her husband or whoever he was, ex-husband, unalived. One of her children, two children, one or two. Anyway, he unalived the kids. Horrible. He had a history of abuse towards her. She still was letting the kids be around the man because she said that's their father. And we had our visitation agreement or whatever. If that's how you think as a woman, I think your custody rights need to be reviewed as well, because your protective instincts towards your own damn kids is a little fucked up in my mind. Can you schedule a 30-minute call with me for advice, a video call? Absolutely, you can. Click the link on my Instagram page. You can schedule a video call. It's your job to protect your kids. But with Miss Cardi, I don't know her from Can of Paint, but I loved her since the moment I first saw her. I remember a video I did on Cardi almost 10 years ago. I loved her when I first saw her. And I will always stand by her because I like her. She's real. You know? I wish she would not show us some things sometimes just for her own peace. But, honey, she's real. I like her. But for Miss Cardi, my one wish for her is with all this money she got, there's a saying, trust your lawyers. Let your lawyers handle this. Because if he is everything she says he is, he don't sound like a man who's going to reason with you. You know some people, they don't want peace with you. They don't. They just want to argue. That's all they want. They don't want peace with you. They don't want peace with you. They will look for any reason at all to argue with you. That's all they're going to do. They don't want peace. I was worried about her health. You heard her on that live earlier? I I said, Lord, I hope this girl don't have no heart attack. I'm not trying to speak that over. I'm just saying, I was thinking that, like, this is a lot for somebody to go through this stress every damn day. For the sake of my health. And then she said something on the live. You remember what Tina Turner said in the court? He can take everything. I just want my name. I just want my name. She said on the live, he can take whatever he wants. I just want to be done with him. I'm just tired. That's what they want to do. They want to wear you down. That's why you get a lawyer. When you're in a custody situation, a spousal situation, don't let them weigh you down. You know what you tell your lawyer? You say, for my own peace, I authorize you to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. You can pay this amount, you can do this amount, or you're not authorized to do nothing, but do not contact me about anything about this person unless it is something that requires my input. I don't even know every call he made, every email he sent you. Just keep it under the retainer. Don't spend too much time talking to her. Okay? You see, I look amazing. I'm feeling mighty thick these days, honey. The girl's real busty. I just do the best I can. Let me see here. You said divorcing a narcissist is life training. Honey, I know. Trust me, I know that shit. I know that motherfucking shit. Bitch, I know that shit. Bitch, I have very few regrets in my life. But I regret that motherfucking shit. I wish his mother... I was gonna say some real vulgar shit, but I can't say that. Okay? I'm not gonna say it. Okay? Okay. When you recognize somebody's a narcissist, when you recognize somebody ain't right in the fucking head, fuck compassion. They don't need no compassion, bitch. They need a doctor. Let them talk to somebody else. Listen to me when I tell you this, bitch. Your motherfucking compassion for these crazy ass motherfuckers will have your ass going crazy. Okay? I thank God every day that I was able to walk away with my sanity and with everything I came in with. But bitch, if I could do it all over again, I would say fuck compassion. Okay? And fuck the mother who ruined you. Okay? Fuck all of y'all. Okay? Bitch, I don't care if he cried in the middle of the street in front of you and talk about how his daddy did this to him, his mama did that to him, his auntie Junebug did so and so. Fuck all of them. I don't give a fuck, bitch. Some people just got a fucked up ass life. I don't know. Maybe you got generational curses on your bitch ass. Stay the fuck away from me though. Okay? Because these cursed ass motherfuckers will curse you if you let them get too close. And I guarantee you with Cardi, that motherfucker showed her some signs. Because the same shit that in your relationship is the shit that came up in the beginning that you thought was cute. That you thought could be overlooked. You see what I'm saying? Oh, it's not that bad. The fuck it is. The fuck it is. Bitch, you know, at this stage in my life, I love who's in my life. You heard me? But we had to talk. You know how you have to talk about the deal breakers and stuff like that? Deal breakers, whatever it may be. And I said this shit straight up. Baby, I'll stand by your side no matter what. I'm going to be here for you. But no matter what has conditions on that. And what that means is this. I will leave. Why would you leave? Well, I'll leave if this relationship's not healthy for me. How would you know it's not healthy for you? I mean, you just know when you know. So you wouldn't want to work through it? Well, I would. I would work through things that are workable. You see what I'm saying? We can repair a crack in the wall. You know, put a little something on there. Repair a crack. But one thing we can't do is repair a broken glass and then splat it all over the ground. If your mental health is fucked up to the level it's just like pieces all over the place, we can't put that shit back together. You see what I'm saying? We all got our shit, but baby, I won't work through shit. Not at that fucking level. The fuck that shit, fuck that. No. Oh, I'm sorry. Let the next bitch fix you. Let the next bitch tolerate you. But I will leave you. And as I'm leaving your motherfucking ass, I'm on the phone with the therapist. Yeah, Yeah, I'm just packing my stuff. Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just calling you because I told you, I need some support because, I'm sad about it. Get my big bag. Honey, I got the assistant here helping me. Put it in the big bag. Yeah, I just, I'm leaving. Yeah, let me just get my little dose of therapy on the way out. Yeah. Yeah, I'm grieving. I'm sad about it. I'm sad. Woo. But I'm all right. No, I'm going to the Four Seasons. Yeah, I'm going to stay there tonight. I'm not going to stay there every night because that's expensive. But I'm just going to stay there tonight. Treat myself. I'll switch over to Airbnb or something until I find something else. You said, what about the house? Is he going to be able to pay the bill when I'm out there? I don't know, but baby, my sanity's more important than my credit. Honey. Honey, the credit done been in the shitter a million times before. Honey, she always comes back. I ain't worried about that. No. Yeah. No, this was good, girl. But hold on. But get my. That's my luggage. That ain't his shit. That's mine. Get that. Yeah. Let me help her out because she don't know what she doing. All right, we gotta get out here quick because he getting home from work in a minute. All right, yeah. All right. Smooches, baby. Bye. I will leave your motherfucking ass in a hot motherfucking minute. That's why I like the fact that my content is online. Because anybody who dates me, now a lot of my shit is just dramatic and fun, all right? So don't take everything so literal. But he may get a sense of my mindset before he date me, be like, well, this bitch don't come to play. I used to be worried when I was like, oh my God, what are men going to think about me when they want to date me based on like the stuff that's online, the videos and stuff like that. I'm like, ooh, that's very intimidating to date someone like me. Not because of the visibility, but because I'm very, I say actually it works in my favor because there ain't no motherfucking surprises. Ain't no surprises, honey. All right? These men be dropping my DMs because they be liking my pictures and everything like that, seeing all this body yaddy in the photos. They be sending me, how they send you your own picture in the DM talking about hard eyes and shit like that. I see that. I'm like, baby, but did you watch the video beside it? Oh yes, honey, she's pretty. And busty as hell, honey. Got a whole lot of body, baby. It's better in person, trust me, it is. But did you watch the videos, okay? All right? Because she's strict. And she comes with rules, honey, all right? You gonna pay for this, honey. This ain't free, baby. You got to maintain it, honey. All right? I'm like a Rolls Royce, baby. It ain't free, and the maintenance cost can literally bankrupt you. But, baby, I'm worth it. Don't fucking play with me. You see what I'm saying? Check the videos. Would you like me to send you some as a reference? I can let you know which ones to watch. But no, for real. I'm telling this right now, y'all. And write your questions. I'm going to answer your questions. Girl. Now, see, I was trying to call myself being healthy. It wasn't that healthy, eating spaghetti and a salad. But now I want something sweet. But I'm trying to cut back on sweet stuff. But somebody special bought me some. He bought me some chocolate dessert. I'm going to eat the chocolate in a minute. It's not that much left. Okay? But no, I'm telling you this right now, y'all. It is better to be alone than to be in an unhealthy relationship. Y'all need to stop laying down with these men all willy-nilly. Not putting yourself in a position to keep yourself from getting pregnant. You need to keep yourself from getting pregnant. Don't get pregnant in the first place. You see what I'm saying? How you getting pregnant by a man and you don't even know his mental health fully? You don't even know him like that for real, for real. I be seeing some of y'all's baby fathers and I'm like, this motherfucker ain't never been shit. I can meet him right now and tell you that this is not a down period that he's in. This is who the fuck he is. So how the fuck can I see that this motherfucker ain't never been shit? And I've just been sitting in front of him for the last half hour. And your motherfucking ass was with him for a year? And you still decide to have a baby with him? Are you crazy? Are you blind? Are you stupid? I be seeing that shit. I'm like, I don't understand that shit. I saw somebody the other day with their husband. They introduced me to their husband. Like, this is my husband. And I was like, oh. This was me, baby. I was trying not to judge. But this is what I was doing in my head, in my mind. I got a good poker face. You won't know what I'm thinking. But in my mind, I was like. And so I tried to be, I did how auntie do. I said, oh, where'd y'all meet? Where'd y'all meet? Where'd y'all meet, sugar? Huh? Oh, we met, blah, 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 blah. You had just got out of a relationship when you met him, huh? You did. She said, how you know? I can tell. I can tell sometimes, yeah. That's how this. He looked like a rebound. So y'all married. Y'all married now. When are you expecting? How you know we was expecting? I'm psychic. Let's just say I'm psychic. So yeah, when you expecting? No, soon, huh? Oh, okay. Well, So y'all married. You're not just calling him your husband. Y'all like married. Oh, my God, today. He don't even look like he could read a prenup, so I know he ain't signed a prenup. No, I ain't say nothing, baby. I didn't say nothing. How long ago did this marriage happen? You know, sometimes it can do annulments. Anyway, let me mind my business. You ever seen a man? He was like this. He don't even like he can read his fucking emails, much less a prenuptial agreement. Don't look like he got nothing going for him except for that bedroom, and even that get old after a while. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I got a rule of thumb. Don't marry a man if he's not smart enough to read a prenuptial agreement. Because he's going to have to sign one. That's for your protection, ladies. Y'all make more money than these men most of the time anyway. You know what I'm saying? Let me see my questions. I'm judging it right now. You said we want more gay content. Help us gays. Girl, I help everybody when they ask direct questions. What's the question you want? I don't believe in gay content, straight content, this content, that content. We all human. The same stuff y'all deal with other women, these women deal with men. Same thing these men deal with other men, these women deal with these men. You see what I'm saying? So ask me a question and I can answer. It ain't got nothing to do with gay. You know what I'm saying? Only thing that sets us apart is how things function in the boudoir. But once you leave out that bedroom door, it's all pretty much the same. Have I ever been married? I plead the fifth. I don't answer questions about my personal life. Next question, please. I love, Janet Jackson said one time, it was in an interview, the interviewer said, can I ask you a question? And she says, you can ask me whatever you like, but I can answer whatever I like. I was like, I like that shit. I said, one day if I'm ever famous, I'm going to use that. I don't do many interviews. I've never had the opportunity to say that, but one day I think I might. Let me see here. Would you marry, what? Why would anyone marry a lifetime felon? Maybe because they don't want to be compelled to testify? I'm trying to think of a logical reason why you would marry a felon who's a lifetime felon, someone who's committed to being a felon. Isn't it true that your spouse can't be compelled to testify against you? I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know that to be true. But if that is true, then maybe they married him so they couldn't be compelled to testify? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I wouldn't. I went out on a date with a man one time. And somehow or another came up pretty early on that he went to prison. And that he was in prison not that long before we met, maybe 2 years beforehand. So I wanted to ask, well, because it came up out of nowhere. I'm sitting up here having my little glass and everything. And I said, and he said it so quick I had to register it. You know what I mean? And so I said, well, what did you go for? How I said, what they say you did. That's how you ask. You never say what you go for because they'll lie. You say, what they say you did. Or another way to ask it, just so they know you're going to look up. So if I looked it up online, what would the charges say? Because you can look that up, girl. They got public websites for that. Okay? So if I looked it up online, what would the charges say? Oh, well, they said. And what he said was some violent ass shit. Okay? And he proceeded to tell me the story. Apparently, I'm not gossiping, but y'all don't know him, so it ain't gossip for real. Apparently, girl, he was in a relationship with somebody and he claimed that they got in an argument about something and he was going off and the ex wanted to walk away. And I'm going to tell you my interpretation of the story in a minute. He said the ex was trying to walk away. He's like, I don't want to deal with this. So the ex was trying to walk away. And he was like, get back here. The ex wasn't coming back. And so the ex leaves out the house and is walking to the car or walking somewhere. Anywho, he picks up a stone or a piece of loose concrete off the ground because the concrete had broken off from like the, you know how it breaks off from the sidewalk or whatever. Picked it up and threw it at the ex. Baby, when I tell you it hit the back of his head, and concrete don't never land soft. Okay? Hit the back of his head. Okay? I said, so when he passed out and woke up, then what happened? You know, I need to lead the story forward. So I need you to tell me the real story. Because ain't no way he didn't go unconscious if concrete hit him back of the head. You know what I'm saying? And so I said, so when he woke up, what happened? I'm acting curious, but I'm just really trying to get the full story so I can know, do I block you or do I get a restraining order? So what happened? And he's like, well, I mean, you know, he's like getting into and telling the story. See, the problem with somebody like me is I'm going to egg you on to tell the story like I'm really into this shit, but I'm really judging you and I'm just trying to get more information so I can judge you more. Okay? That's my toxic trait. You think that I'm into the story, I'm really just pulling it out of you. Not y'all. I'm talking about like when you tell me some real fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, tell me more. So I can know how to stay away from you. I'm just telling you honestly, that's how I am. And so I'm like, for real? Really? I bet he deserved it though, didn't he? What did he do? Girl. And so he was like, yeah, so I got locked up and this happened and that happened and the other happened. I was like, for real? How long? He's like, I just got out. I was in there for like a year. I was like, no. You ain't deserve that. So here's how my mind calculated it. Okay. I was like, number one, he was afraid of you. This is how I thought in my mind. Because you got to think about it. Couples argue. That is what it is. And sometimes arguments may even turn to yelling. It is what it is, right? That's what happens in some couples. So someone saying, I need to get away from you because you are so, and y'all are living together. You're elevated at this level that I want to get away from you. Lets me know that this is either a very avoidant person. The other person could be avoidant. Or it could be that they're afraid of you. And they know that in order to stay physically safe, they have to get away from you physically. There are some people when they ask that you have to get away from them, right? So the fact that he immediately left out the house, because getting away from you was not going in another room. It was leaving out the house. With someone who isn't violent, someone who you still feel safe around, you just want to de-escalate things, getting away from them makes you like, I'm going in the other room. I'm going to go take a shower. I'm going to go watch TV. I'm going to do something else away from you. But he left out and was proceeding to walk down the street. He went to a public area where he could be seen getting away from you. He was afraid. As you're yelling and yelling, telling him to come back, don't leave. Your first instinct was to grab concrete. Your first instinct was not to go and walk up to him and baby, hold him, hug him. No, baby, don't leave. Baby, please, baby, please, baby, please. And then the fact that he got locked up for over a year. Now, I don't know how the legal system works, but I would imagine that this was your first offense and this is a domestic situation. I would think a year sounds a bit heavy. First offense, you ain't never done nothing before, but you got a year? You got a year off of this? That lets me know that maybe there were previous police reports. This was not viewed as some domestic situation. And I asked him, I said, well, did he press charges against you? He said, no. He said, but the state did. I'm going to tell you this right now. Signs for me not to stay with a man is I don't stay with men who have bad tempers. I'm not dealing with that. I don't care who you going off on. What he do to other people, he will eventually do to you. Don't ever think that you are exempt from a man's treatment. When you see him going off, girl, it'll be you eventually. I don't play with that. 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 I don't play with men who tear stuff up when they get upset. Banging up stuff, tearing stuff up. I'm going to tell you a little thing you do. Ladies, listen, I did this. It saved me. When you with a man and he trusts you enough to be in his house, by yourself, maybe you go to work or something like that, don't go through his drawers or don't go through his phone. Nothing like that, baby. I want you to go look at the pictures on the wall. Not because you give a damn about his art. What you're going to do is you're going to lift those pictures up a little bit to see, are there holes in the wall behind those pictures or are there patches behind those pictures? Sometimes when people put their artwork, it's not because they like it there, it's because it strategically covers up a patch that was in the wall. Ask me how I know. Because I had to do it. He was acting out real crazy. Real crazy. I was young. And I was walking down the hallway. He had one of those, you get the long hallway going to the bedrooms or whatever. He had all these pictures along the wall and whatever. I thought he's so sentimental. I got pictures of his family all up and through here. Girl, I went and looked. And so I looked at one of the photos and it was kind of crooked. And so I was trying to put it back right, but it came off the hook because I think the hook wasn't that deep. You know what I mean? So it just kind of slid off. Anywho, as it slid off, I looked and I noticed, oh, shoot, there's a patch behind it. Like, somebody put a hole in the wall and they try to patch it. But if you're not a real professional, they don't be patching it real smooth. And sometimes the patch don't match the paint. I was like, Now, I have very good deductive reasoning. I have very good deductive reasoning, and pattern recognition is one of my strengths. Very few things get by me. Very few things. And so, with that said, I was like, let's go through all the photos. So I systematically, one by one, I didn't take them all off the wall because I needed to put them back in their exact positions. I did them one at a time. Move. No patch. Patch. I went through all of them. And I found that something like maybe 20% of the photos on the wall, I counted, 20% of the photos on the wall had patches behind them. So what I did was this. I'm telling you, this is what happened. He got home from work that night, and you never, ever bring up anything when your man comes right through the door, baby. Never do that. That's an amateur move, baby. You have to be calm, very calm. Get him in a position where the best time, in my opinion, let's say you get home from work at 6, early evening, you know what I mean? He gonna come in the door, he gonna check his mail, may decompress, go in the other room, watch TV, I don't know, whatever he gonna do, right? Take a shower, whatever he does. You wanna get him about an hour after dinner. When he laid up on that couch watching TV, he's so relaxed. He in his house clothes. You know what I mean? He just laid up, totally relaxed, watching that TV. That's when you bring it up. Now, you don't say you went and took every picture off the goddamn wall and saw the shit, baby. Humans know how to lie for a reason, baby. Do it. You say, as you laying on his chest, baby, you're like, I meant to tell you, I'm so sorry. You're like, sorry for what? Because I was carrying the laundry bags to get down the hallway, and I wasn't paying attention, and I bumped into the photo on the wall, and I knocked it off the wall. And when I knocked it off the wall, I think that I may have, I don't know, I hope I didn't crack the frame out. It's the one right there, the gold one. The gold one. I put it back up there, but I just check it. I tried to put it back up. I don't think I cracked nothing, but just check it. Because I meant to say that. You trust me being in your house by myself. He like, no, I'm sure it's cool. But baby, what happened to the wall? Because I noticed there was a patch back there. What happened to the wall? You and me call my uncle, he can come over and fix it. Like, he can smooth it out. Act like you don't give a fuck. You just being helpful. You being helpful. He can come fix it. It won't be a problem. He's like, nothing. I mean, this is a hole back there. Oh, okay. You just still waiting to see if he lied. How he got multiple holes in the wall? And I asked him about it. I asked him. He said something like, oh, it just was just that. It wasn't nothing. It just was something like, I don't know what excuse he made up. I was like, for real? Okay. Are there any others? Because, you know, if he can come by and patch them, probably more cost effective if he patches more than one rather than just doing one. Yeah, because you're renting this anyway. You need to get that patched up because they're going to charge you for that hole if they even see that, because they're going to smooth it over. So if there's more than one, I can tell them come by and get more than one. It ain't a big deal. Yeah, there's a couple of them. Bitch, I could have been the new Barbara Walters, and I'm a good person for doing investigative interviews. Right? It's about the long game, girl. Stay calm. Your best defense with a man is calmness. I was like, really? Why is there multiple ones? What happened, baby? This how you do it. Who you had to fight up in here? Who you had to fight up in here? I know, I wish I was here. I would have helped you. Who you had to fight? Girl, I play into that shit. I play into it, girl. Don't give a fuck. I'm here to get the information. I can't assess if I'm safe or not if I'm coming at you in an accusatory way, girl. You gotta play into it. You know? It'll work. And he's like, nah, that was my ex. Your ex was wild, huh? Oh my God, what happened? Your ex was wild, huh? That's crazy. Baby, are you okay? I didn't know you went through all of that. Nah, he used to go crazy. He used to blah, 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 blah. Anytime they make the ex out to be the most horrible person on earth, pay attention. Because it takes two to tango. All right? Him and the ex have been together 6 years, 7 years, a while. They've been together a while. So you telling me your ex was such a mess that they was tearing up stuff in the house, punching holes in the house all this time for all these years, and you stayed all that time? That's what you telling me? I said, oh, okay. I said, yeah, babe, I'm so glad you got out of that safe, because some people don't make it out of that kind of stuff alive. Girl. Yeah, baby. Yeah, you right. Kiss me on the forehead. You ready to go to bed? Yeah, let's go to bed, baby. And that bitch went ghost. Wait out like a day or two. I be too busy. I'm too busy. Yeah, I wish we could hang out. I just be so busy. I be so busy. Let me grab this thing, y'all. Hold on. Gotta grab my other phone. I ain't trying to be neglecting nobody. Mind your business. Mind your business. Y'all remember that song? Mind your business. Mind your business. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what you do, baby. Gather all the intelligence calmly, without suspicion. Same if your man cheat on you. Girl, you always act like you don't know shit and never acknowledge what you know. Never. I don't care if you came in the room and saw him in the room with the person. Girl, I would act dizzy. Baby, I'm so sorry. I have the worst headache. I can barely even see. Baby, can you please bring me some Tylenol to the bedroom? Throw them off. Act like you ain't see shit. That's extreme. But you get what I'm saying? You be like, you good? Oh, let me give a more realistic situation. You sit beside your man, his phone ring, and he get kind of, talking off to the side, doing that stuff. Act like you ain't see shit, because he gonna question you like, you good, baby? You all right? I'm good, baby. Hug up on him. Play dumb. Play dumb as hell. Until you have enough evidence to make a verdict, you act like you don't know nothing. Act like you don't know nothing. Now, this only works if there's an end game. If there's something you want to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. A man cheat on you, they buy you things. You think I'm going to leave a man who paying for stuff just because he cheated? No, I'm going to leave, but not immediately. Act like you don't know shit. Get all the evidence you need. Then when you present it to him, and we're going to talk about other stuff, all right? I feel like we talk about toxic men. There's plenty of good ones out here, all right? But when you present your evidence to him, you're going to come to him with what you know, with everything. And you are prepared to do the one thing he doesn't want you to do, which is leave. You're prepared for it. You will leave. But we're going to do it calmly. Because there are things you need to get before you leave. I think that some of you girls leave money on the table. And it makes me sick. Sick to my stomach. That you let a cheating man off and all you did was yelled at him and threw some of his clothes out the window. Well, what'd that do for your bank account, girlie? What'd that do for your children? Nothing. So here's what you do. You present them with the information. Now, back in the day, you'd have whoever took the pictures for you, or if you got the pictures and bring it in a folder, you set them on the table, you spread the photos out. You sit it there. And you sit quietly. What you mean? What's that? Who is that? And you don't respond. No matter what you doing? You following me around now? You taking pics of me? What is it? That's what we did back in the day. But we don't do that no more. We're much more sophisticated with our techniques. What we do nowadays is you create a digital file, a PDF even, which is a consolidation of the text messages that you found and took a screenshot of, a consolidation of the photos. If you've been texting with her to verify what happened, consolidation, all that, you're going to put that together. And what you're going to do, let's say on a Tuesday when he's at work. He gets to work at 9, I don't know, 10:30. You're going to send him that. You can send it to him as an attachment on a WhatsApp. You can send it to him as an iMessage, your Google message. You can send it to him as an email, but you're going to send him that. I prefer text. Text is harder to overlook. You're not going to say, baby, read this. You're just going to send it to him. No explanations. No executive summaries. Just evidence. Then what's going to happen is this. Listen close, girls. After you send it, you are going to either block him, not permanently, but you're going to block him. Or you're just going to cut your phone on mute so you don't have to get his responses. And if you live together, find somewhere else to go that night. So clearly, you have to prepare. Pack a bag. Or if it's your house, maybe you change the locks when he went to work that morning. I don't know. This is all hypothetical for entertainment purposes only. Don't do this. But what you're going to do is you're going to send him the evidence. And then you're going to go radio silent. This is powerful. The evidence is the appetizer. The silence is the steak dinner. You're going to go silent. He's at work. And if he can't leave work, he's going to spiral. He's not going to be able to focus on anything that day. And that's okay. You're sending to him at work not to be cruel. You're sending to him at work so that he can't be reactive and just run to you immediately. Because even if he needs to find a way to leave work to try to get to you, he got to talk to his boss. You're going to have time, right? So it gives you time, right, to get your ducks in a row. You're not going to talk to him. Not that day, not the next day. He should not know where you are. He should know nothing. Know nothing. You don't know his mental state. That's why you need to make sure you're away from him when you finally present him with the evidence. Because some people spaz out when they're held accountable, right? So long story short, you're going to stay away. You're going to make it so he can't reach you. Then after several days, if he's, mentally stable, but feeling the pain, then you say, then listen, I'm ready to speak. And what you're going to do is you're going to call him. You'll call him. You see what I'm saying? You'll call him. At whatever time you choose. Now remember, the end game is to eventually break up with him, but you need to get what you need to get before you go. My dears, I need you to be able to cry. Turn that rage into rain. Cry. You're mad enough to cry for real. Don't do anything inauthentic. Cry if you really feel it. As soon as he gets on the phone, he can be like, baby, can we please talk? Where you at? Can we meet up? Can we meet up? Can we talk, baby? Can we please? He has been spiraling for the last 3 days. He thought that he'd never talked to you, and he didn't know. He is literally like a steak that's been tenderized. Okay, he is ready to be cooked. Make sure he hears you cry. Make sure he hears you. Why did you do this to me? He thought you were going to be angry and full of rage. No. We're going for the jugular, girls. He cheated. And some of y'all, I know this speech. I've already taught you this speech, but I'll give it to you again. Let me get back into character. Hold on. Why would you do this? Why would you do this to me? FaceTime is better. Why would you do this to me? I've been going through so much. I can barely afford to pay my bills. Be dramatic. You need to talk about how you're going through so much. You've been struggling so much. You can barely afford to pay your car note. Just start picking some shit out, girls. You know, I've been working overtime to get the down payment on this property I'm trying to buy. Are you making the connection now? I think some of y'all are making the connection. I think you're making the connection now. You see what I'm saying? Even if you don't get all of it, even if he only gives you half of it, he's going to give you whatever the fuck he needs to give you to try to get you to stay. So get it. Get it. Baby, I didn't know you was going through all that. You could have told me to help you. I would have helped you. I'm sorry. Because now he's going to try to play Superman as a way to deflect away from the fact that he was a fuckboy. Let him play Superman. Let me bring up the cheating. Yeah, baby, whatever you need, I can help you with that. Baby, I just want to be back in your life. I just want to blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Baby, just come home tonight. Just please come back home. No, baby, because you're just talking. You're not even serious. You don't do nothing. I can't even trust you. How do I even know you're telling the truth about what you're going to do? I'll do it right now. You need me to transfer you the money right now. You need me to transfer you the money right now. You do whatever you think you need to do, but I can't trust you. I need proof that you're trustworthy. Give me this. It's your father. Just go in the other room. Go in the other room. You can go there, girls. May he rest in peace. But rumor has it that when Kobe's wife found out that he cheated on her, I say cheat on her because I don't know the whole situation. That's just what the headlines say, all right? He ain't hit it to defend his part of the story. But rumor has it that he bought her a $4 million diamond ring afterwards. Nessa wasn't going nowhere, all right? And it's not that he needed to buy her. That was his wife. She loved him genuinely and vice versa. But my point is, a cheating man is a bank vault. Why the fuck would you walk away from it? Clean the vault out. Then you walk away. You got to be strategic. You got to be strategic. Y'all be walking away with a broken heart and a broken wallet. The fuck? I ain't never understand no bitches doing that shit. Hell no, you ain't gonna break my heart and I'm walking away. I gotta call Uber. No, I'm walking away in a Range Rover. That's a great time to get the title changed over to your name on the car that he bought you. And the thing is this, when I saw that you were doing this for her, what I kept thinking to myself was, I was like, I can't even trust him. All it takes is for you just to take the car back, take everything back. I wouldn't have anything and you treat me like this. Girl. Let me see here. Why did he cheat if he cared enough to buy her a ring? I don't get it. Well, let's not talk about him specifically, but let's say just under other circumstances. Why do men cheat? Why does anyone cheat? Well, it could be for a number of reasons. Could be issues in the marriage. Could be that maybe that person has trauma and it expresses itself through hypersexuality in the form of just wanting to sleep with everybody. There could be any number of issues why someone cheats. I think the reason is something that's best worked through in therapy if you all choose to stay together. But before we get to that point, he needs to pay for your presence. He needs to make a goodwill gesture. You hear where I'm going with this? I'm not sitting through the 9 months of therapy with you to hear about your mother wounds. Why the fuck you cheat? I don't give a fuck about your mother wounds. Okay? Put a down payment on this new goddamn house and move that car into my fucking name. Okay? Put your money where your mouth is, baby. Show me your commitment. Okay? Can't trust what's in your pants, but I can trust what's in your wallet. Why would a man want to keep his wife and kids if he is sleeping with men? I think the same reason why he would want to keep his wife and kids if he's cheating with a woman. Cheating is cheating regardless of who he's with. Maybe if he's with the woman and with the man, then obviously he's bisexual. Some people are able to be attracted to both, right? That is what it is. I'm not justifying the cheating. I'm just saying that people be attracted to both. It is what it is. My point is sometimes people want to have outside intimate activity while still keeping their marriage at home. I have a deeper belief about this. I don't think that everyone's built for monogamy. I am Mr. Monogamy. I like monogamy. I have no desire to not be in monogamy. I don't want to share my man. I don't want to be shared. That's just me. People say, how would you want to be the same man for the rest of your life? if you don't understand it, then we're just built different, and that's okay. There's no judgment towards you, no judgment towards me. I'm literally okay with that. I have people in my life who I love and respect who are non-monogamous. I just happen to be monogamous. It is what it is. But with that understood, because I am close to people who are non-monogamous, and I get to hear their perspectives and things like that, and I respect their perspectives. They're just not my perspectives. What I can tell you is that there are a lot of people, men and women, who are just not built for monogamy. That doesn't make them a bad person. You know what I'm saying? They're just not built for monogamy. I think that the flaw is not that they want to sleep with other people. The flaw is that they chose to be in a monogamous relationship. If you're not built for monogamy, I think that you have to be honest with yourself enough to acknowledge that and then choose a partner who is okay with being in an open relationship in whatever form you guys design for yourselves. So my point is, sometimes people cheat because of deep issues for themselves. Sometimes they cheat just because they're not built for monogamy. And therefore the cheating, regardless of who they're cheating with, men or women, is just a direct manifestation of the fact that they're not built for this. Sometimes people have to make really bad mistakes to be able to see, wow, I am really not designed for this type of relationship. I had someone tell me this years ago. It was a guy. We were not deep in a relationship, but we were dating. And he was someone who, he never cheated on me, but his past partners he had cheated on. We were having an intimate conversation. And he was very open with me. I really respected the fact he was very transparent with me. And he said to me he's like, yeah, I cheated on every partner before me. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. I said, why haven't you accepted that you're not designed for monogamy? He said, what are you talking about? And I think it was shocking for him to hear that from me because of the fact that we both agreed to a monogamous relationship. And I was the one who was really big on monogamy, right? So I think he was shocked to hear that from me. But I was like, why haven't you accepted that you're not built for monogamy? He's like, what is that supposed to mean? He took it as like a slight at first. I explained it further. I said, think about it. You are not a bad person. I have no questions or concerns about your character. You're an honest person in every part of your life, professionally, with your family, with your friends, in every part of your life. But in this specific part of your life, at least in 3 past relationships over the last decade, in your exact words, you've cheated on all of them. And in some cases, you cheated multiple times on them. So my question becomes, I ask them this. Is the issue that you're a bad person who just can't keep it in his pants? Or is the issue that you're just not willing to be open and honest with yourself for the fact that maybe you're just not built for the type of relationships that you're agreeing to? And I said, don't think about what this means for us. Think about what this means for you. Because I can get hit by a bus tomorrow. But the question is, what kind of relationships are you going to want to be in? He thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. Came back to me a couple days later. He's like, I think you're right. He's like, I really don't see myself wanting to be with just one person for the rest of my life. I said, then I think you may want to consider finding a partner who's open to non-monogamy. Because there are plenty of them out there who feel the exact same way. And y'all can be very happy together. Like extremely happy together. You and I can be friends. We may go through a sting of a breakup where it may feel a little awkward for a month or two because we weren't together that long. You know what I mean? I said, but after that, we can be real good friends. I'm cool with that. But we will never be friends. In fact, we'll be enemies if we stay together and you eventually cheat on me. So why not free yourself to find somebody who actually has the same value system as you? This is the actual conversation we had. And I've had that belief system for a long time. I really do believe that. Especially living in LA for the years I lived in LA. I think that's what I had to really grow within that belief system to really just, to recognize I met so many people in LA, gay and straight, who were just not monogamous. They were not built for that. And I started to see, wow, it's not because they're messed up in the head or they're hypersexual or something's wrong with them. No, some people just don't want to be monogamous. So my logic is, why sit around here and ignore the fact that I'm with a man who got a wandering eye? Girl, if he got a wandering eye, he also got a wandering you know what. Let's be real. Eventually, that's going to wander too. You know what I'm saying? Why keep on tolerating being with a man who's, I'm just a flirt. I'm just a flirt. I think the flirting is a way of opening the door to the devil's temptation. Just my opinion. I know how I look. And I know how I flirt. So if I'm going to flirt with a man, right, I have to be open to the fact that that man is probably going to respond to me at some point in time in a way to want to advance that flirting to something more material, if you know what I mean. Any grown, mature adult knows that flirting invites certain type of responses. So if I'm with a guy and I would see that he was a big wandering eye kind of guy, I'm seeing he's a big flirt, I have to learn, okay, I could be boo-boo the fool and stay with him and act like that's all it is. Or be naive and try to confront about it. Why you got a wandering eye, blah, blah, blah. So that he can what? Just cover his wandering eye up better. He doesn't change who he is. He just learns to cover it up better. Who wants to do that? Or I could just accept that this is a real human being who has a right to do what they want to do. He can flirt. He can sleep with whoever he wants to sleep with. He can look at whoever he wants to look at. He just can't be with me. So I learned to spot the signs and bring up those conversations early. That's a big part of dating that I think a lot of us need to be more open to. I think we're so afraid to even have the serious conversations. I think sometimes it's a matter of having a conversation about the observations you have as well. You see what I'm saying? To be able to be like, and don't be accusatory. If you ever caught a man who had a wander, here's how I bring up the wandering eye thing, right? I would say something to the, let me get my piece of chocolate, y'all. Hold on. Okay? He bought me this chocolate. Oh, honey. My hips. Here's how I would bring up a wandering eye situation. He brought me lemon chocolate. It's lemon. I ain't got that much of it. I would be like, I know your type. What you mean? You my type. I'm one of your types. But I know your type. One of them at least. What you mean? This is an after conversation I had with a man before. I was like, you like dudes who built like blah, 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 blah. Whatever it was. Huh? I'm like, quit playing. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you. He's like, how you figure that? Because every time somebody who look like that walk by, you break your neck to look at them. I've been seeing it. You be seeing it. Yeah, I don't care. But I see it. That's your type. Because I can clock it. If somebody walk by who got blah, 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 physical trait, you're going to look at them. You're going to stare at them. That's your type. One of them. The girl's going to throw that man off. Because he think you're going to be like the rest of them. Going off, getting mad. Why am I going to go off on the man I'm about to break up with? That's a waste of time. That's how you bring it up. Let you know I clocked it. Even if you don't like it, bringing it up is a way to acknowledge it. And then y'all gonna have a conversation eventually. He be like, so you be seeing me look at other women? All the time. Let me be quiet. Let him lead the conversation. He be like, so you all right with that? You just cool with that? Listen, baby. We are just getting to know each other. I know it's been a couple months, but you know, we ain't walked on nobody's aisle. Ain't nobody got no rings on. This is time for us to enjoy each other, but learn about each other. That way we can see if we have a future together or not. You know what I mean? So I'm sure you've observed things about me too. You see how I just low-key slid that in there? That we're still going through due diligence, and I may not want to do this deal with you, called a relationship. You can say it real nice. You can say it real nice. What you mean? I thought we was like together and like locked in. Baby, it's only been a year. It's only been a year. We're still getting to know each other. Barely 4 seasons. Barely 4 seasons. I'm just getting to know you. You getting to know me. My hair's so dry. I did not do my hair today. That's a sneak little way of letting him know I have the power to leave you, and I will. That's a sneak way of saying I'm not sold on you. You see what I'm saying? Let me see here. I feel like if you feel like, oh my God, MJ, I like what you're saying, but I don't think I could do that. I feel like I would go off. I feel like I would do this, I would do that. Girl, then the issue is not about him. Yeah, he has an issue, his wandering eye, or his wandering whatever. But if a man's behavior, if anybody's behavior dictates your own behavior, then you have an emotional regulation issue. Let's talk about it. If my man cheated on me, I would go off. I'm doing this, I'm doing the other. So you're telling me that if a man cheated on you, you have no ability to control your response? Is that what you're telling me? That you literally have a compulsion. You have to. You're like a dog when they see a squirrel run by. You just have to chase it. That's what you're telling me. So what that leads me to believe is, well, then how do you do at your job? Because we've all worked under people who are nasty, mean, aggressive, microaggression. We worked under a lot of bullies and work with people. So how did you manage to get this far in your career without going off on people? Because you wouldn't have lasted this long in your career. When you be out in public and somebody do something crazy to you when you at the store, cut you off in the parking lot or whatever it may be, well, you ain't in prison. So how did you learn to regulate yourself in those settings? Okay, so we do have evidence that you were able to regulate yourself under stressful situations. Why is it that you do not choose to call on that skill set when you need it here? Especially when there's far more at stake right now. You can regulate yourself. I'm asking you to do it. I know I joke in how I deliver the information, everything like that. You know what I mean? Where it can seem like, oh my God, MJ, you know how to play these men, blah, 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 blah. I deliver the medicine to you with sugar. Yeah, I'm theatrical. You know what I mean? I know that some of the things I tell you, you're not going to go and do it just like I'm doing it. What I'm doing, I'm delivering to you a different way of doing things. In a way that's theatrical and funny, because I know that ultimately, in order for you to do these things, it's going to require a lot of y'all to stretch yourselves in a really deep way. A really deep way. For the level of emotional regulation I'm recommending for you, asking you to consider, you're going to have to really restructure yourself, because you've been going off on people since you was young. Allowing people to control your responses. And what I'm saying is, girl, you better learn a new way. You say, I don't care, I'm going to go off on him. He ain't shit, no way, I'm breaking up with him anyway. Okay. But what about when you're with the healthy man next? What about when you get with the man who's actually healthy as your next relationship? Then what? Then what? Then what? You think that because you were a healthy man, you would automatically learn healthy habits? Half of y'all, a lot of us, let's be real about this, didn't grow up in households where we saw healthy relationship dynamics. You could have had the most loving parents, but their dynamic with each other may not have been very healthy. So you didn't learn it there, which is probably why you ended up choosing partners who had their own unhealthy dynamics, and y'all ended up creating more unhealthy dynamics together. So you didn't learn it there. You didn't have a chance to practice healthy dynamics there. Then you think what? When this relationship ends, you're going to find a healthy relationship and you're going to know how to show up there. When would you have ever practiced it? When I tell you to practice a different way of responding to betrayal, offenses, all these different things, I'm not telling you let them off the hook. What I'm telling you is this is an excellent opportunity for you to grow. Because even if you do cut them off and don't stay with them, which is your choice, you will still come out on the other side of this traumatic situation a better person who's more equipped for healthy relationships. So I'm going to tell you what's going to happen otherwise. I've seen this. That unhealthy relationship ends, which is great. You found the power to do that, but you never learned how to show up in a healthy way. Then you meet somebody who's healthy and you scare them off. Because the minute you triggered, you cutting a fool. You acting up. So when I say practice, for me, and how I approach dealing with things, and I'm not perfect, but in my mind, I'm not thinking from the perspective of should I emotionally regulate myself and deal with this in a respectable way because this person deserves it. Fuck what you deserve. I don't give a fuck what you deserve. You could be a total piece of shit who I never want to see again in my life. But the fact of the matter is I recognize that how I respond to this is like a brick building a building. So I respond to this in a negative, nasty way, then I'm putting negative, nasty bricks on my building. And long after you gone, those bricks are still going to remain there. But if I respond to this in a healthy way, then I'm putting good, solid bricks there. And long after you gone, those bricks will remain. You see where I'm going with this? Hold on right quick. Huh? Okay. It was lemon with white chocolate. My dad hasn't spoken to our family since he left. Now he's talking. I don't know what to say. Maybe you don't want to say nothing. Maybe you're upset with them. Maybe you're angry with them. Maybe you're hurt. Maybe you're confused. I'm going to give you a recommendation on something to consider doing. And I think this is a great practice to do for anyone that you're struggling with emotionally, where you don't know how to respond to them, or you're in a tough spot. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead. You can do this in your phone, you have two options. Do it as a voice note, like talking to it as a voice note, or you can do it writing it on paper. I know a lot of us don't write as much now. We do more typing. So some people just I ain't got no paper in the house to write with. Do whatever you want to do. Voice note or written. No typing as a text. Voice note or written. This is very important. What you're going to do is you are just going to go stream of thought, talking about how you feel about that person. A way to do this is to act like you're talking to them. You can say, Dad, I don't know what to say to you because you blah, 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 blah. Just talking. When I say stream of thought or write a stream of thought, you don't edit yourself. Just talk. In fact, one of the best ways to do this is to give yourself a time parameter. I'm going to do this for at least 90 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be long. And you're going to force yourself to go to that limit. Just keep talking, even if you repeat things. Because what it's going to do is it's going to help unlock some of the emotional spaces, some of the trauma zones in you to start venting some things out. Because you can't stop talking for 5 minutes. You can't edit yourself. You can't stop writing. You're just going to keep writing, keep writing. If you misspell something, fine. Don't cross it out. Don't erase it. Just keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. And here's the key. You're going to delete it after you're done. So you don't have to worry about anyone seeing it. You don't have to delete it if you don't want to. But I recommend deleting it after you're done. Not that there's any, therapeutic benefit to deleting it, in my opinion, or a cathartic reason to delete it, I should say. You're deleting it so that you know that it's a safe space, what you're doing, what you're putting out there, right? You would be surprised how much clearer you will become about what you feel, or for that matter, what you don't feel. I think that's incredibly helpful if you're upset with your spouse or upset with your kids even. before you go talk to them. I'm going to go off and I'm going to tell them what it is. Go someplace where you can talk into your voice note or write for 90 seconds at least, talking to them about what you feel. You get on my fucking nerves. Don't hold nothing back. You get on my fucking nerves. I think you an inconsiderate asshole, blah, blah, blah. Go in, baby. Go in. It's no judgment because don't nobody have to hear but you. Get it all out. And then, when and if you do talk to that person, you're clearer. You've processed it. You then can edit yourself a little bit. You're like, okay, I was able to say all the harsh shit on there. And now I can regulate myself. I can regulate myself to say what I really feel without throwing in a lot of the negative shit that I think. You see the distinction there? You see where I'm going with that? That's why we do this. This is a practice to help you with emotional regulation. For those people who say, oh my God, I just gotta get it out. I hear you. Get it out here. Get it out here as a voice note. That's where you get it out at. I think it's a complete misnomer. The idea that the only way to get it out is to get it out to the person who you're mad at. Or that you feel the feelings towards. No. Sometimes that's the worst person to get it out to until you've had a chance to actually process it. You need to process it. Or else, you may work against yourself. How many times have you been in a situation, for those of you who struggle with regulating yourself, when you're upset or hurt or whatever, right? How many times have you gone to somebody and you've gone off and told them everything you thought, and they heard barely any of it? They heard barely any of it because they was distracted by your tone. Because maybe they're the type who shuts down when people are yelling at them. Even when they're in the wrong, they shut down. You can't change that. That's what they do. So you got it all out. Or, as you going off, they walk away and shut you down. I ain't got to hear this. I'm walking away. So now you're even more mad. How many times does that happen? The point of telling people what you feel is so for you to be heard. For you to be heard. Not just so you can talk. What is the point of doing all that popping off? Let's go back to Cardi B. She popping off on Instagram or wherever she did that live recording from about her ex-husband or soon-to-be ex-husband, whatever he is. And as I was listening, I'm like, baby, that what she did doing all that fussing was actually healthy. That's what I mean, pop off. The part of it that I probably wouldn't have done is you don't pop off on live. You don't go in front of the public and do it. That's just my opinion. But what she was doing, the stream of thought, just, and motherfucker, I do this, I do that. Go off. You know what I'm saying? What she did was actually healthy. It was actually healthy. But the problem was this. She did it publicly, which I don't recommend y'all do that either. And I think she did it from the mindset of thinking he would hear it. Even if he was on the page watching the live, he wasn't listening. He's typing back his response or saying things to further provoke her or just not giving a fuck because she's going off and so she's the crazy bitch that he's portrayed her as. You don't want to play into that because you let people, you really give people an excuse not to be held accountable when you don't regulate yourself. When you screaming and yelling and popping off and doing whatever you do. What you're doing is you're giving them an out from taking accountability because now they can focus on you. Look at you. You're going off. You don't know how to talk to nobody, no way. And blah, 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 blah. They can portray you as the bad guy as a way to deflect away from what they did. Is that manipulative? Hell yeah, it's manipulative. Is that fucked up? Hell yeah, it's fucked up. But we can't change that about people. What we can do is regulate ourselves. And one of the best ways to regulate yourself is to give yourself the room to release what you feel privately. So that you can then, when you're ready to speak to the person, you can speak clearly with a game plan of this is how we're going to handle it. Another thing you can do, which I love doing, you record your venting, your mind dumping, whatever you want to call it. You record it. Do it in the Chat GPT or one of the AI ones that you can record into. Because some of the AI ones you can like do a voice. You can talk into it. Some of them you have to type. I wouldn't do the type one. I would use one where you can talk into it. Chat GPT, I think, lets you do it. I think Claude may let you talk into it as well. And then that's really helpful because sometimes what it will do is it will then, after you submit, it will then it will really give you a response on it. It's almost, I'm hearing that you're going to do this. Have you considered this? Have you considered that? It helps you to process it for yourself. It's incredibly helpful. I don't think it replaces a therapist or a life coach, but I do think that it is a great way for you to have a good opportunity to vent what you feel and have have something reflecting back to you objectively, so that you can then determine how to do things. I was dealing with a situation. This just happened to me, actually. I was dealing with a situation, and this person was really annoying me, like really fucking annoying me. And because I'm in the practice of doing it, I'm in the practice of regulating myself in this one way to regulate myself, was I stepped aside. We were out, so there's a big group of us out. And I stepped aside a little while we were out. And I went to like a private area near like the bathrooms in the back of the restaurant. It was quieter. And I said, this person is annoying the fuck out of me. This is what happened. 90 seconds. Somebody walking by me. Hey. No, just standing back here on a call. Yeah. Get it all out. Submit. It then spat back at me. Sounds like you're really upset right now, and you have a good reason to be. Have you noticed that this person has a pattern of doing X, Y, Z? Because you've spoken to me about this before. I was like, damn, they do have a pattern of this. It sounds to me like this person is taking advantage of the fact that you don't blah, blah, blah. If you choose to bring it up to them, maybe you should consider doing it from this. I was like, so that's the way we can do it nowadays. But long before we had these AI apps that could help us with these things, I used to just do a voice note just to get it out. And I would play the voice note back to myself sometimes. Just like I hear, I'm like, ooh, Lord, you sound so mad about this. You see what I'm saying? You said exactly. I was the bad guy for a long time. That's not me. I had to learn to control and regulate myself. This is so true. Yeah, you got to regulate yourself. People will use the fact that they know you don't know how to regulate yourself against you. I've seen people do this. They will purposely try to push your buttons. I've seen it in personal life, in business. I've seen it in so many different spaces. And I sit back, because I'm very but I'll sit back and I watch. I'm like, dang, this person is playing you. They are literally trying to push your buttons to get you to go off so that they can then focus the attention on you going off rather than the attention being focused on what they did to offend you in the first place. You're feeding into it. So when people say, I don't like, oh my God, MJ, oh my God, I can't do that. That sounds like blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, MJ, I ain't got that kind of control. Well, let me ask you this. Would you rather go through the pain of controlling yourself and regulating yourself? Or would you rather go through the pain of someone manipulating you because of the response you gave? You're going to deal with pain one way or the other. But at least if you regulate yourself, you have pain, but you're operating from a place of power. You know what I mean? You operate from a place of power. Because here's the thing, if you're calm, they could never say you said anything. And they will try to push your buttons. If you're calm, what they going to say? Can't say you yelled. Can't say you cussed nobody out. Can't say you did this, you did that, you did the other. Like Teresa Judice. Remember Teresa? How she would shake the tables. Can't say you did that. This is one of my favorite episodes. Was it Real Housewives of New Jersey? No, just... So when you want to regulate yourself and you don't want to talk, this is something I recommend that you do. Learn from Tyra Banks, although it wasn't the reason she taught this, was not for this reason. Smize. Like, perch your lips as they're talking. Perch your lips. Purse your lips, whatever the right word is. It keeps you from having to talk. Play with your fingernails, play with your ring, play with your bracelet. Find something to do with your hands. Don't just have them sit beside you. No, then you're about to go off. Just like this. And if you find that they saying stuff and it's just really getting bad, You don't say, I'm going to leave. No, because they're going to try to fight you even harder on that. And I told you what that guy did to his ex. He threw the thing at him. Don't do that. You never say you're going to leave. You never say that. What you say is, give me one moment. I'm going to be right back. I want to hear the rest of what you're saying. But just give me one moment, okay? I'll be right back. It didn't get up and leave. Girl, you can come back and get your coat later. Just make sure you got your car keys and your phone. Leave. And don't answer the phone till you're ready. People like, oh my God, he called me. Cardi was saying that. She said, he called me this many times a day, blah, blah, blah. So what? Block him, but don't answer the phone. You don't have to answer the phone. You are under no legal obligation to answer the phone for somebody. You can call me 85 times. All you're doing is giving me more evidence for when I get a restraining order against you. See, Judge, this is the evidence of the harassment. If you'll notice, he called me 81 times within a 2-hour period of time. Can you see this? Mm-hmm. Every call is more evidence. Every email, every text message, everything. So, yeah, keep calling me. I don't care. I'm not answering. Because then when you answer the phone, then the question becomes, what was discussed on that call? I'm not answering. You call me. Yes, you can have my phone. Please hand this to the judge. Let me see here. If you're dealing with a divorce, a custody situation, anything like that, this is not legal advice, but in my personal opinion, deal with everything from the point of view of what if I have to put this in front of a judge. That's why I think it's such a bad idea to be going online screaming and going off on people. Don't do that shit. Sending crazy text messages. Don't do that shit. Why would you do that? Even if you are responding to them. You know what people do sometimes? They'll redact out what you said. They'll redact out what they said and just show what you said. They do that all the time. Now, that's not right. And they can be forced to show the rest of it, but that doesn't stop them from trying. So, no. Say nothing. Silence is your best tool. That's why self-regulation is so important. Let me see here. You said, I don't like the way he talks to me, and we have 6 kids. Everything else is fine. He provides and takes care of the kids. I think couples therapy is a great resource. Couples therapy. I don't like the way he talks to me. Okay, great. Talk to a therapist about that. I have a belief. My mama told me this. My mother was a therapist, right? She's retired now, but she was a therapist. And I remember her saying something to the effect of, if a man will yell at you, he might, not always, but he might eventually put his hands on you. And it could just be a push. If he's willing to push you or grab you, then he may be willing to hit you. So she wasn't saying like a certainty, like this is absolutely going to happen. But the point is, there's a big might that comes up. I think that sometimes words hurt more than wounds. So if you're willing to talk to me like trash, oh Lord. Imagine if there were no consequences. What would you do with your hands towards me? Some of these men talk to y'all like that, talk to y'all crazy because they know that they can't put their hands on you because of the real consequences. But what they really want to do is they really want to put their hands on you. They really want to put their hands on you. I don't play with that. You smashing up stuff, throwing stuff across the room, yeah, because you want to throw me. I'd rather be alone, honey. And you ain't got to be alone. There's plenty of men out here you can enjoy your time with. But I wouldn't deal with that. I remember I was with this guy. He was a pusher. Like, literally push you. He pushed you. And I was young. I love that man. Well, I think I was infatuated. called it love, but I was infatuated. It wasn't that much more than that, really. But anyway, with him, I remember with him, eventually one day, I said, this is going to be the day he's going to try to hit me. Because we was arguing. And I couldn't tell you what. But I remember we were standing on the stairs. And the way he looked at me, my instinct said, move away from the top of the stairs, because if you don't, he's going to push you down. I moved. I could see it in him. I said, eventually, this man's going to put his hands on me. And I remember when he eventually did, because I didn't leave. When you ever get the instinct that a man may put their hands on you, leave, because he will. How can a black woman with 9-to-5 side hustles and daily survival in this economy make space for dating without burnout? I think, this is my personal opinion, I think that you have to make time for the things that you want. And that's not to say that the other things that you are making time for are not important, but your 9-to-5, you got to do that. Your side hustle, got to do that. Your life is important, but you're not spending 24 hours a day at these things. I don't care, let's say you're on a dating app. I don't care if you say, I'm going to set aside at least a half hour a day to log into the dating app and respond to messages or to do whatever you do in the dating app. And I will set aside at least 2 Saturdays a month. I don't know, 1 Saturday a week, whatever it may be, to go on a date. Set the time aside. All the jobs, all the accolades, all the side hustles in the world are not going to lay beside you in bed at night. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you need that. But if that's what you want, just like you're intentional about going after these professional goals, you need to also be intentional about creating space in your life for your personal goals. Or else you're going to become a very accomplished person who does not have these things, who does not have the personal life that you desire. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I would say, be very thoughtful about being intentional. Create the room. If you want love, but there ain't enough room in your life for it, create the room. Because here's my question to you. If you don't have time to date, how do you have time to be in a relationship? So what happens if you do meet an amazing guy who can fit within the very limited schedule that you offer up? But then he wants to be in a relationship. He's going to want to spend time with you. So you're going to have to create room in your life anyway. I watched the show Pop the Balloon. You know I love that show. There was some woman on there maybe last week or the week before. And they asked about everything. She's like, what do you do for a living? She's like, I do this, I do this, I do this, I do this. I work all the time. And I was thinking to myself, all those men should pop their balloon right now. All of them should. Because she doesn't have enough room in her life for a man. She does not have room in her life. She literally says she got 3-4 jobs and she says, and I work all the time. But I can make time for you. How? I'm not saying quit your job or quit your side hustle so you can date. But what I am saying is something's got to give. And if you're coming on a dating show positioning yourself in that way, then my God. Because you put your best foot forward on a dating show. So if this is how you marketing it, then in real life, it must be really hard to date you. You know? I think you got to create the time. Check your dating app or respond to the text messages. When I get up in the morning and I'm sitting on the toilet, I'll respond to text messages. At lunch, at work, maybe I'll set aside 15 minutes to respond back to them. Set aside time. I know I'm not going to say too much about this person because I don't want to in any way indirectly identify them. A very busy person, a man who's extremely successful. He's extremely successful. Well known for his success too. I know him. And I've seen how he operates his dating life. And he was in a relationship previously, but now he's single, so now he's dating again. So anyway, I've seen how he operates his dating life. He literally, everything is scheduled. When he gets up in the morning, he says that's 15 minutes, because I think he's dating maybe one person right now, I don't know. Anyway, he goes through in the morning. He sets aside time for 15 minutes while I'm eating breakfast at the kitchen counter. I'm going to respond to text messages or send out the good morning, whatever text, or send out a funny meme. This is my time for that. It's literally on his calendar. Okay. When he takes his lunch, he sets aside 10 minutes. Let me send out a midday message to respond to whatever she said back to him or whatever it was. And in the evening before bed. So that's how he does it. And he knows that each weekend he's available. He's willing to set aside at least one full day or one half a day for a date. But he does it real slick. Baby, what you doing next weekend? Saturday afternoon? Can you promise me you'll make Saturday afternoon available for me? He make her feel like, can you please make some time for me? But the truth of the matter is that's the time that he has available. You can? Okay, great. I'm going to surprise you with something really amazing. So she feels like, oh my God. He texts me in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. And he takes me on an amazing date every weekend. There's nothing manipulative or bad about that. He's doing it really well. He literally is creating space in his life that in no way conflicts with his personal and professional goals. And she's none the wiser. She's getting everything she wants and needs at this stage of dating. And he's getting what he wants. Now, if the relationship were to grow and require more time and more energy of each other, then you'll see how they operate at that next level in their elevation. But you can be intentional. Put it on your calendar. You know who's very good at doing that as well? In general, with family and stuff like that? My nephew, son Marco. He's good at that. He's been like that since he was a kid. I remember when he was a kid, before he lived with me, he would say to me, hey, Unc, are you available this evening at 7 o'clock for me to give you a call? Because he knew how busy I was. But I thought he used to do it because he knew I was busy. It's also just how he's wired. I said, yeah, I'm available at that time. Okay, great. I'll call you then. Right? And then he called. Right? He's always been that way. He schedules things in. And that allows him to do what he's got to do as a young entrepreneur running his business, which takes a lot of time and energy, as you can imagine. He can have his personal life or whatever happens in his personal life as a young man, while also making time for the things he wants to make time for. If you're intentional about anything, you can do it. I'm going to go through just a couple more questions. I'm going to go. My older generational dad doesn't expect his wrong when his children tell him about it. Doesn't accept his wrong. Okay. My older generation dad doesn't accept his wrong when his children tell him about it. Any thoughts? So let me say this, okay? I've seen so many things online about kids, adult children, whoever it may be, going no contact or limited contact with their parents. And the principal reason I always hear coming back to, because you can see these stories all over the internet. They're all over the place. People post them on the page. Is because when I try to confront my parents about XYZ, they don't listen, they don't accept it, they try to turn it back around me, whatever it may be. They don't accept responsibility. So I don't know how to have a relationship with this person who hurts me and doesn't take responsibility. What your father is doing, if he's doing what you said he's doing, his actions may hurt you, but they're actually going to hurt him more because the reality is there's no way for you to remain close to him in the same way that you are close to him. Every time someone doesn't take responsibility for wrongdoing or doesn't acknowledge wrongdoing, you get pushed further away. Even if you're physically near them, emotionally you're not. It destroys the relationship. So unfortunately, he is creating the consequences that he will have to live in. And that's unfortunate. For you, it's painful because you want the validation of acknowledgement. But I would encourage you to this. Talk into that voice note. Get that voice note out. Talk into your phone. Talk to your voice note, not them, about everything you feel. Flesh it out. Talk to a therapist if you need to, if you'd like to. And accept that he may not change. He may never accept responsibility. And let yourself be angry about it. You may get really angry about it. You may even feel like you hate him a little bit. Like, oh, I fucking hate this. Or hate the situation. That's okay. Let yourself feel the depths of pain that it comes from accepting that someone who you love, who you expected to take responsibility and take care of you just isn't or won't. Accept it. Let yourself feel all the pain. Because eventually that pain will go away. The anger will go away. And eventually it will turn into acceptance. And when it turns into acceptance, that will allow you to make the adjustments in that relationship to make it healthy for you, which may mean that you can be around your dad, but you're just not going to be confronting him about stuff. Or it may mean that you can't really be around him that much because frankly he keeps on doing shit that you don't like and that hurts you, and you can't confront him about it, so you don't want to be around him. Therefore, you're not going to be around him. So what I'm telling you is, it hurts. You cannot change him. Let yourself feel angry about it. Because you've already tried, is what you're telling me. You've tried. You said when we come to him, he doesn't accept responsibility, which lets me know that me and more than one person has tried to do this and he won't change. Okay, what more can you do? I don't care if he's old or not. I don't care what generation he's in. I don't care. We give old people in these generations a pass. Well, they were young once too. And to me, I think the older you are, the more wisdom you have, the more experience you have. So we should expect more out of you. Stop letting people harm you or subjecting yourself to unfair treatment just because someone's age. Now, if you were to tell me my infant does this, my 5-year-old does this, then okay. 5-year-olds don't even have the cognitive functioning to be able to have regret. I saw this on TV today. I think I was watching like an Oprah podcast, and the guy said on this, he said 5-year-olds around the age of 5 is where children begin to even have the cognitive functioning to be able to process their own behavior, to even be able to have high levels of remorse or even regret. Like, dang, I regret hitting my brother. So that's who you give a pass to. Is when they don't have the cognitive function to be able to acknowledge or take responsibility for anything. But, for a big ass grown man, he should be better than everybody at doing it. You didn't tell me that dementia. You didn't tell me his cognitive functioning's messed up. No, you said he's older. So with that said, he should have more tools. And if he doesn't want to access those tools, then fine. You said your Texas accent came out just a wee bit. I be trying to push it down. Let me see here. MJ, how do you feel about doubling back, going back to an ex? I wouldn't, because by the time I break up with somebody, we've tried and we know it's not going to work. So no reason to go back. I think if two people have changed and grown, I think that going back is fine to consider, but I would recommend going slow. Sometimes we go back to an ex, we want to pick up where we left off, but I don't think that's healthy. I think you have to treat it like it's a brand new relationship. Because the truth of the matter is, you should treat it like it's a brand new relationship. Y'all are different people because y'all have grown and changed, right? If y'all get back together, it's because y'all have grown and changed from who y'all were before, right? So if y'all have grown and changed, and y'all need to get to know the new yous, the new people, the new individuals. So it doesn't make sense as the new individual who've grown and changed to try to pick up where the old ones left off. No, y'all got to start over. And by start over, what does that mean? If you live together, don't jump into living together immediately. You need to go on dates. Go on dates, spend time together. Now, obviously, y'all have a foundation. It's not going to be like someone brand new who you're just meeting. I got that, But you need to take it slow. I would even take it slow around intimacy. Sometimes intimacy with a familiar source can create a sense of connectedness prematurely. So I would go slow with that. Just me. And depending on the level of trauma or issues that the past relationship endured, I would consider couples therapy at the very least for the first 6 months of this new relationship. Because y'all are going to need a space for when inevitably things come up that may trigger old feelings. You can grow as much as you want to grow. That still does not mean you can't be triggered by the old stuff. You can go through all the therapy in the world, but I guarantee you when you get around that one family member who gets on your fucking nerves, who you went to therapy to work through, you still may feel triggered. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to respond in the same way, but you still may feel the internal triggers happen, right? Therapy doesn't change how you feel. It's there to change how you respond. Okay? So that's what I think. How do you feel about friends with benefits when you know you're a relationship kind of person, but don't want a relationship right now? If you're a relationship kind of person, you can lie to yourself and say you don't want a relationship right now. But the truth of the matter is, people who are relationship oriented, if they meet someone and have good chemistry with someone, and they feel like they could have a relationship with that person, then they become a relationship kind of person again. Relationship kind of people, lover boys, lover girls are always lover boys and lover girls. I think it's dangerous territory to do friends with benefits when you know you're a relationship kind of person. Because unless y'all just doing what you do, with the lights off, you can't look in each other's eyes, and then they get up and leave when they done, or you get up and leave. It ain't no talking, ain't no texting, ain't no nothing. If it's just very just sterile, distant, non-emotional, maybe that could work. But it often isn't that way. More than likely, whoever you would choose to have that kind of dynamic with is probably a decent human being. Because why would you be intimate with someone consistently if they're not a decent human being, right? So already that's a strike. They're a likable person. The intimacy is good. Because if it wasn't good, why would you want to do it repeatedly? Right? On top of that, before or after the intimacy, y'all are having conversations, which is building connection. Friends with benefits, to me, is just another way to build a relationship. And I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm just saying you're doing all the things that people do when building a relationship. Which is why it surprises me when people say, I don't know how I got my heart broken. Because you're sleeping with the person, having intimate conversation with the person, spending time with the person, going to sleep with the person, which is definitely a bonding experience. And you didn't expect you would fall for each other? Or at least one person would fall for the other person? What are you, 20 years old? Only people who can get away with that kind of thinking are people who've not experienced enough life to know that that's BS. But we too grown for that. You say, I've tried friends with benefits and got crushed every time. I had trouble saying I wanted more because I'm not desperate, and men have always been first to move to more. These new men, whoo child. I feel like this. Now, I'm just saying this. If you want intimacy, right? Because that's the core of what friends with benefits is all about, being able to get your physical needs met. Okay. I believe it's a need. I would recommend considering safely finding a way to perhaps have more than one intimate partner. And I know some of y'all, the church mother's wigs just blew off their head, honey. They just said, oh, Lord, MJ, you telling these girls to go on out here and be faloozes? My God, today, MJ, no. Hear me out. The man who you doing friends with benefits with, you probably ain't the only friend he got a benefit with. Let's just start there. Okay, no shade, no tea. But I think the reason why men do that, and it works out really well for them, is because you're less likely to get attached. If you got two, you with one this week, the other the next week, you seeing them daily 2 weeks apart, you can't get that attached. You see what I'm saying? Or if you want a relationship, but you just want some intimacy in the meantime, continue dating. So basically, you enjoying this friend with benefit for the benefit, that one person, enjoying him for the benefit, one person, but you're actually dating other people who you may not be having benefits with. That way you're giving yourself the opportunity to genuinely get to know them while getting your physical needs met over there. You ain't gonna get attached to him over here because you got men who are actually good candidates over here. He just basically is fun. And that's what you are for him too. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read the questions in here. Excuse me. You said you got 6 friends with benefits right now. Baby, if it works for you, you gotta do whatever works for you. She said 6. God damn. Oh my God. You said, I want to talk about my problems, but I feel like I got a DM about this one. No, baby. You click the link on my Instagram page and schedule a session, a coaching session. I don't do DM sessions, baby, because DM ain't charging. I got to charge for my time. I miss somebody. They said, oh my God, you get such good advice. I got the steps. We got to have coffee together so I can talk to you about that, baby. I cost more than coffee, honey. And I don't want a steak either. I can't deposit that. Stop. But I'm serious. Let me see here. Oh, thank you. Ben says, you are still beautiful. Thank you, baby. All right, I'll do one more. I got all the questions in the queue. I'll scroll up if I see one more. Hey, MJ, I just want to say thank you for sharing your time and knowledge with us. Where is it at? I have learned a lot from your lives. God bless you. Much love from Nigeria. Thank you. It still blows my mind sometimes that people in different parts of the world watch me. It blows my mind. I see it and I'm like, oh my God. That person's in the Philippines. That person's in this place. That person's in Australia. That person's in Memphis. That person's in California. That person, wherever it may be. I appreciate it. Where y'all at? Write your cities in here. Where you at? I see Boston. Let me see here. I'm trying to see the question. You said there was a girl in your hometown who was on Maury Povich 3 times and still didn't find the father. They must have been paying her to come on that show. Because why would you subject yourself to that kind of embarrassment to have the world thinking that you just out here being a scallywag? South Africa, Atlanta, Philly, Brooklyn, Georgia, Freeport, New York. New York is a big one. Kissimmee, Florida. Oh my God, y'all. Thank you so much. I'll make sure I put this video up so y'all can watch it on YouTube as well. Honey, my hip hurt. Don't ask how. So I'm gonna go lay down. It ain't hurt since I've been sitting here, but honey, I was like, honey. Bye, y'all.